live. Hello, today is February 23rd, 2026, and we are live with Rob and Maria. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things. We're going to be talking about the SPX. We're going to talk about 0DTEs. We're going to talk about using AI to trade 0DTE SPX. We're going to talk about using bots to trade AI-derived SPX 0DTEs. And the final thing we're going to talk about is backtesting. So 0DTEs, SPX, AI trades, using bots, robots to trade, and backtesting. Those 5 things. I am getting tired of giving you all the free trades. I don't mind doing it, but I feel a lot better if I taught you how to fish rather than to just give you fish. So one of the things we're going to be focusing on from now on in this channel is showing you exactly how we do it so that you can follow along with us. Quick update from the trading desk. We had some big news today, and you're going to see it coming across here every once in a while. Maria, in 26 minutes, that's right, 26 minutes, Maria made $925 or some craziness like that. She did just great. And so hopefully we're going to be able to broadcast that to you. I hope everything's going good in the chat. And you hear me and see me. So we're going to be able to connect your encoder. I think the encoder is connected. Hopefully you're able to see us in there. And I hope that we're getting a good signal through to you. We had some technical difficulties. The guy was here all day today, and they tell us they're going to run a brand new line for us. So let's take a look-see and see while you've got up there. Good, you can see me here. We're 15:27 in. Let me get this lit up here for you. I want to make sure that everything is going good so that you can hear me nice and clear. That ought to help a little bit. Great. All right. So let's take a look-see and where we are in the charts. Here's where we are. Look at that. Holy moly guacamole. I love it when we're up $37,000 with a few minutes. Let's see if I can't get another one. I've got multiple internets here. Here we are. Let's see if we can get this going. Hopefully we get some activity here in just a second. And we should get our streaming back online. Any minute here. There we go. There we go. I think it's coming back. How about that? I think we should be good here, hopefully. So what I was saying while you were gone is here's where we are with the trades for today. These are the NQs that I put on. I think I was talking, well, that still hasn't come up yet. So while that's figuring out where it wants to go, let's take a look at our charts. Here it is in real time. And this will show you where we are. Look, what have we done since October 1st? Since October 1st in the $30,000 account, we're up about $11,190, which is pretty sweet, about 33% rate of return in 4 months. So that's about 100% rate of return for the entire annual rate of return. And let's take a look in the $1 million account. We're up, oh gosh, that's not the $1 million account. These are not correct. I want to show you the $1 million account. If I could, please. Let's see what we got here. This is the 30,000. Here's the $1 million account. Let's see if it shows you where we are. There we go. We're up $343,000 in the $1 million account. Seems a little light. I thought it was 350. But at any rate, the point is it's good. It's a great number. We're up 34% in 4 months. You times that by 3, I think you could be right around 100% rate of return. Not too shabby. I kind of like that. Now, let's go over to Tasty, and we can see where our positions are. Oh, boy, we had some big news around the house today. Maria decided she was really getting into these, what do you call it? She's getting into this scalping, and you're going to see it on the chart here behind me. She made some crazy amount of money in 26 seconds. I want to tell you it was like $395 in 26 seconds. It was nuts. That scalping is crazy. Now, those of you that follow along know I do Crazy Ivans. These are the ones that I got filled earlier today. Let's just put this on here. Here's the ones that got filled today. And you can see I filled this morning at 10:50 down market. I love down markets, by the way. So right now we're down 345 and we are live now. So that's nice. We got that back up and running. And you're going to see that we're down 345. I love down markets because it gives us a chance to sell the Crazy Ivans. I sold them at $203 at 10:52 this morning. 7 minutes later, I sold them for $214. I said, if you're crazy enough to do that, 18 minutes later, I sold them for $219. And then a few minutes later, I sold them for $220. Then what I started to do after selling them for $220, I thought, well, let's see if I can get them for $225. No one's taken me. So I was able to pretty much pick the bottom there. And then I've got a $240 and a $230. And you know what? Let's just do this. Let's add on a $250 just to be on the safe side in case this market would really go down tonight, or maybe before 5 o'clock. Remember, futures trade till 5 o'clock. And so now we've got that one sitting out there at $250 as well. So those are our Crazy Ivans for today. For those of you that don't know what we do on Crazy Ivans, I like to go out 45 to 60 days. So let's see, rather than 46, let's go out 53. I will go to 12 delta, boop, 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 boop. And that was 12 delta when I started today. I like to always go on the thousands, the 250s, the 500s, or the 750s. So if I was going to do it right now, I'd go in the 750. I always wanted to go one more. So this says 183. I'm going to ask for, I don't want to ask 185. I would ask 190 at least. So I would put that in for 190. And then I do 50 cents, just a little bit extra for the dog. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not down there. I think you can. And then I would go ahead and put that in, but we're going to clear that out because we already put one in. So then let's take a look also where we are with the SPX today. I know that there was a big problem with the exchange today getting some orders in, but here's where we are. You can see we've got lots of 8, 8, 17, 8, 11, and 10 on the put side. What do we got left on the call side? 12, 19, 21, 10, 4, 3, 14, 7, 8, and 4, and then you got all the longs. And so right now, we just want to finish this bad boy. I mean, we're looking pretty good. I know that we didn't get some trades on because there was a problem. I talked to the tech support over at Options Omega, and they were telling me that there was an issue. I don't know if it was with Oprah or if it was with Tasty or with Schwab, but I know that's where we trade with Tasty and Schwab, and I know there was some sort of a problem there. So hopefully we're in great shape there. Now, let's go over and just take a look here at our updated charts and see if these have been updated. And they have. Didn't I tell you before we were up like, what were we up before? 30, 24 grand, 25 grand. And now we're up, or excuse me, we're up 35. Now we're up 38,000. So we're doing pretty good. And look at all the problems that we've had today. There's some sort of preview issue is happening. So we're getting a lot of trades that are not getting filled because there is some technology problem. Okay. Once you understand the back testing, right? We do the back testing and we get the trades that we want. Then what we want to do is we got to put those on. You're going to have to go. We like Options Omega because when you do the back test, you can very easily take a test and then put it on and make it into a trade. Otherwise, you have one piece of software that does in the back testing. Then you got to transfer and you have to manually put it on the bot side. And that can run into problems and you can make mistakes, especially when you're doing, 200 of these a day or 150 a day. It's really, really easy to make mistakes. So you got to be really careful with how you do it. That's why we like using Options Omega. And by the way, if you don't know, 6 o'clock Sunday nights, I'm going to give you all the trades for the $30,000 account. It's up 100% rate of return since October. And I'm going to give you 20 of our 120 trades for the $1 million account. And that one's also up about 100% annual rate of return since October 1st. Okay. And then 325 every day, provided we get the internet up and running, then that's when we'll be on here. So, okay. So let's take a look. We're going to have a bunch of trades. If we get cooperation from the internet, we will get a bunch of trades coming on at 15:51. So in 9 more minutes. So here's where we are with a small account today. And it looks like we're up 2,400, which is still sweet. And of course, these numbers won't change. This just still shows you that 343. Notice that we've done 11,619 trades in this account. I swear that we've done more than that, but okay. I guess that's all we've done. And then in this account, we've done 2,500. Maybe what I was thinking is these two added together is 13,800. I thought we had done 14,000 trades. So I'll have to take a look at that and figure out where those numbers are. But it's in the ballpark, right? It's in the ballpark. And with the wings width that we use on the $30,000 account, because I want to do at least 6 or 7, 8 trades a day, we were going to use 50 wide wings. So the capture rate's going to be a lot lower. When you get into the bigger account, you're going to see that we've got a lot better capture rate, which is 9.1% in those. Okay, so now let's go back over to Tasty Trade. Let's see where we are with the SPX. And we want to find out where we are with our positions. We want it to be between 68.05 and 68.65. I think that's pretty easy. We want these to all go down to zero, and geez, they're almost all down to zero already. So let's see where we are. We want to be between, what do we say? We want to be between 68.05 and 68.65. 68.05 and 68.65. And so 68.05 right here and 68.65 way up here. I'm sure that we're going to have some new numbers coming in. So 68.65, that's a pretty safe bet. And 68.05, that's another pretty safe bet. That's not too shabby. So we love it if we can stay between those right now. I think that is pretty much a done deal. But the reason why it's a little bit disconcerting is because we had a bunch of trades that did not go on today. And so it's very frustrating to me because the whole game here is a numbers game, and the more trades we can put on, the better. And I'm frustrated with the exchange and Oprah or Tasty or Schwab or whatever it is, whoever it is that caused those problems. I'm sure Maria's not happy because, like I said, she was scalping. And after that first 26-second victory, she went on and scalped a bunch more today. So I'm hopeful that we can get her to do some live scalping one of these days. And she's a little nervous about it because she wants to get better at it, of course. So let's see where we are going to. Let me just take a look-see. I think we're going to get some at 1551. Like I said, we're going to get those at 1551 if the market cooperates. That's the game plan. There it is, $395.26. I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I thought I'd make a lot of money by doing 0DTEs, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. All right, let's take a look and see where we are. This is live. This is in real time. What were we? 35,000, I think we were. Now we're up somewhere around 38,000 for today. So we're having a good day. We should be somewhere between winning 69,000 and losing 69,000 this particular week. I should tell you that these accounts, when I tell you it's $1 million account, it's $1 million in buying power. Okay. So because we're up $343,000 for the last 3 months, it's using 1.3 million of buying power today because we're going to compound our earnings. Likewise, in the $30,000 account, we're probably putting on around $41,000 worth of buying power today. And we use buying power because it wouldn't be fair to say, is your account a $10 million account or a $1 million account? If you've got 10 million, I've got 1 million, and it goes up 100,000, I'm up 10%, you're up 1%. So it's a little bit disingenuous to say account size because it really comes down to, if you've got $10 million, you want to put $1 million into this strategy, or if you got $5 million, you want to put $1 million in or less or more. And likewise, a $30,000 buying power. If you got $100,000 in your account, do you want to use 30,000 for this strategy, or do you want to use 60,000 or whatever? And so the way I like to look at it is based on buying power. That's, I think, the only fair way and reasonable way to do it. Let's take a look, see. So here we are still up, looks like around 38,000. Nice. And here we are for the smaller account, up around 24-ish. Again, pretty nice. Now, let's see if we get any new trades coming on here. For the SPX, here we are. Here are the trades. The last trades we had came on at 12:08. Can you believe that? I know we had a bunch in the 2 o'clock range. I know we had some at 3:30 that were supposed to go on, and none of them did. So that is extremely frustrating to me that it happened. But okay, let's talk about execution. Let's use this as a learning point. Okay, one of the things we want to learn about is how do we put our trades on? we put our trades on. You have a put credit spread and a call credit spread. Short leg on the put credit spread, short leg on the call credit spread. Now, we put those on separately, but we put them on by the spread. So when we say, well, we're putting on a $2 multiple entry iron Condor at 330, what we're going to do, it's $2 for the short leg only, not for the entire spread, for the short leg only on the put, and then $2 for the short leg on the call. So you can try and make $400 if it all, if the market stays in the middle, you'll win $2 on this, which is $200, and you win $200 on this, which is $400. And if you get punched out on one side or the other, let's say you get punched out here, you lose $200, but if you make $200 here, the net effect is zero. The only time you get, really hosed is if you get the M&M day, right? M&M, up and down, and it pushes out both sides, and then you lose $400. That happens about 12% of the time. It's not inconsequential. It happens. I went back and looked at all of our trades since October 1st. I thought it was around 14,000. And what I discovered was that about 58% of them were winners, and 42, Tyler and I's favorite number, 58% were winners and 42% were losers, okay? So it is a very, very narrow game. So a lot of it comes down to execution. So what we do is when we put these on, we tell Tasty and Schwab that we want a stop loss if it hits our stop loss percentage. So if it's 100% stop loss on a $2 premium, we've got $2. We're willing to lose a total of $2. So we lose the $2 plus we lose $2 more. So the stop loss would be $4, but we'd only lose $2, right? Because we got paid $2 going in, we pay $4 going out. So you got $2 going in and $4 going out. You lost $2. You lost $200. Now that stop loss, that $4 stop loss, that is on the short only, does not include the long. And we want to make sure that is what was called a resting stop loss market order. So the second it passes 100%, we want you to close it at the market. That means if it's zooming to the downside and it's skyrocketing down, we want to be first in line, right? Because first in time, first in right. And so you want to be the first one on the book. Well, if it's being held at the broker says, "Wow," and hits the price. The broker then sends it to Oprah. Oprah sends it to CBOE, and CBOE sends it to the floor and executes the trade. That's no good. Or their electronic book if you're under a 60 contract lot. So that's no good. It takes too long. It takes 3 or 4 milliseconds, 3 or 4 thousandths of a second. That's a lifetime in what we're doing. We're fighting with the big boys. We're out there with the funds. We can't afford that. So we tell them we want resting stop orders. And what does that mean? Our stop loss market orders are resting at the CBOE electronic book. And you make sure that your broker is resting them at the electronic book. Look at this. Look at this. It was supposed to fill, it's so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating to me when it doesn't work, right? When the technology, this is not on our end, by the way. Granted, the stream is not going in the best of numbers today. They're not coming in. No trades have come in since 12/8. Now, I don't have a lot to complain about because, we're up a lot of money today. So I can't complain too much, right? I mean, what are we up on the small account? We're up 2,400, and on the big account, still looks like we're up about 38 grand. I mean, and we got 8 minutes to go. But man, it would have been nice to get some trades on. What would have happened, by the way? What would have happened if? Let's just see what we missed out on. What would have happened if we would have been filled at 68.30, right? For $2, and we would have been filled at 68.35. So, and we would have been, let's see, is the market going up or down? And the market is moving for the last, I can't tell whether it's over, it's probably to the downside. So let's just say they would have been calls. So we would want the trade to stay under 68.30. We'll just pretend. Okay. We're going to pretend. I think that's about where it would have been in all fairness. It would have been right at 68.30. So we want it to stay under 68.30. It's not under 68.30 right now. So you know what? I don't think that's true. It would have been under 68.35 is where it would have been, 68.35, because I was looking at the put side. It would have been 68.35. So let's take this one out. We're going to remove that. We're going to put it in at 68.35. That's where we want it to stay under. So, and you know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't even have to tell you. What's going to happen is we would have won 8,000 if it stayed below the line. We would have won 4,000 if it stayed below the line, and we would have lost 4,000 if it went above the line. I mean, we'll watch it, but it's not nearly as much fun as when you don't have skin in the game. So let's just keep an eye on it. You know, it is. This can be frustrating enough when you have multiple down days. You know, speaking of which, might as well, let's take a look at some of these charts because it is kind of interesting. If you look at these charts, you can see that this thing, and look, here it is right here. Here's the blinking warning saying the open order preview failed. And there's no way our preview should fail. So, and you can see all the failures. So it means that Schwab and or Tasty are both having problems. And it's all, it's all sunshine and roses when you're down here and it's going up and up and up and everybody's happy. And then it starts to flatten off here and people get all worried. They get all bent out of shape. Let me move my pretty face here out of the way so you can see what's going on. There's some more trades are not going on. Yeah, we get it. And of course we would have been making a fortune today. So what are you going to do, right? Add $8,000 to the winnings. But so if you're down in here and and you're getting flat and everyone's in a panic mode, it goes here and then you get this down move. Everyone really goes nuts, says, oh my gosh, we're getting killed. We need to change strategies, and it goes flat for a while. Then it goes up. But you notice if you start tying these points together, you say, well, geez, it's pretty much an up move, right? It's pretty straightforward up. And if I would have told you back in October 1st, well, we'll be up $345,000 by February 23rd or whatever it is, you would have been thrilled. I would have been thrilled. You would have been thrilled. Everybody would have been thrilled. So you got to be careful with your mindset, right? A lot of it, all we do is trade by math. What we do, it's the same thing we do every single week, okay? 0DTE, SPX, those first two things I told you we're going to talk about. That's all we trade. We don't have any overnight risk. It's very simple. We don't have to do anything but run it through the back tests here at Options Omega. And you know what? It's more fun to at least watch. Let's watch our trades here. Look at that. Now we're losing a little bit of money as this comes into the finish. And all we're going to do is we're going to run it through Options Omega back tests. We're going to test millions of trades that have come on for the last 125 trading days. That's 6 months. Our research shows us that 6 months, not 3 months, not 9 months, not a year, not 2 years. 6 months gives you the best indicator of what's probable. That's what we're looking for, is what is the probable outcome for the next week. That's what we're looking for. What is probable? So then what you want to do is you want to say, okay, what's probable? And we're going to take the top 200 trades. We're then going to take a look at it. I start looking at it myself. I separate some things based on grouping and whatnot, but we're going to look at the Sharpe ratio, the Sortino ratio. We're going to look at the MAR. We're going to look at the compound annual growth rate, the max drawdowns. Of course, we're going to look at the profit and loss. And we're going to look at all those things. And then what we're going to say is, these are the 200 best trades. I'm going to eliminate, say, 50 of them. That's 150. We're going to run it back through the back testing software through AI that Maria took her a year to build Vera, who's our AI assistant. And we're going to run it back through Vera. And then Vera is going to tell us what are the best trades. And then what we're going to do is we'll take one final look at those and we'll decide whether or not we want to put those trades on, which ones we want to put on. And then we're going to allocate in the larger account. In the small account, they're all just one lot. In the larger account, we're going to allocate it based on the superior trades. If they're vastly superior, we will allocate them, maybe 2, 3, 5 times more than some of the other ones. And it's just a mathematical allocation because we think that even if those top 5 trades won't be the top 5 trades next week, it's highly probable they'll be in the top 100 or top 200 out of the 7 million trades that we look at. And so that's one of the things we want to follow. Let's take a look at our chart just to keep track of where we are. So we're up 38,000 and change. So then the final thing is we said we're going to talk about 0DTE, SPX. We're going to talk about AI trading, and we're going to talk about the robots, the bots. And so what we do is once we pick those out, we're going to put them into the bots, and we're going to set it up so that Options Omega runs it. And so then the frustrating part is when you get that all in there. You got the 0DTE, you got the SPX, you got the AI, you got the back testing, you've got the bots. It's all in there. It's all working. And then somewhere you've got Options Omega, then to Tasty Trader Schwab, then to Oprah, then to the CBOE. And somewhere in there, there's a failure, right? And it's so frustrating because there's nothing you can do. And they all got legal mumbo jumbo that says, sorry, it can all go down and we can't do anything about it. Now go and we're doing, I don't have anything to complain about. It's up 38 grand today. It would have been nice to be up 50 grand, but the best you're going to do is 69 grand. And you're not going to do that when you have a bunch of losses. If you look at all the trades that we put on today, you can see, if you got, you can see all these are the closed trades down here. We got page after page after page of these trades. And so, here we go. Take the big number, subtract the small number. And here is what we won in the small account. It's not done yet. 3, 2, 1, whatever happened to that. Look at that. Look at that. Ha! Went through. Good. Up you friggin' son of a... I'm glad to see it went up. I'm glad to see that it went through there, you dirty dog. Let it go through there. We would have lost 4 grand here. So, hey, what do you know? Old Rob got a little some. All right, so we didn't have the best day today as we could have technology-wise, but gosh, money-wise, we can't really complain. We got $2,200 here on the small account, and over here in the large account, looks like we got 38,300 bucks-ish, 38.2, something like that. So I hope you had a great trading day. We're going to hit them again tomorrow. Don't forget 325. Our Spectrum internet provider assures me that we're going to have a beautiful stream tomorrow. I hope we do. Remember, we're going to try and talk Maria into doing those scalping trades like she did today. I hope you know what? Let's get this right here where it should be. I hope you have a great trading day.